Alright, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be doing some changes to the 450. We're going to be doing a different rear sprocket and completely replacing all of the chain guides and the front sprocket, as we saw some premature wear on this rear sprocket and the chain, and we've also had some concerns with hitting the side of the tire here. So we're going to do a lot of changes to see if we can alleviate some of that problem and hopefully make it function a little bit better, because that has been a concern of ours since the chain snapped about a year or so ago. You guys have seen the video, but I'll put it up right here if you haven't. So we're just trying to make that as less of a worry as possible. So we're going to be dropping to a 140 width tire and dropping from a 51 tooth rear sprocket to a 49, and then replacing all of the OEM chain guides and the front sprocket with the OEM new one, in hopes that we get a lot less chain slap and make the bike run a little bit smoother. And we're also going with, we originally had a non-O-ring chain, and we thought that thinner chain would be a little bit better, but it seems like it loosens up faster and could potentially wear out quicker. So we're hoping that swapping back to a O-ring chain, it'll have less slop and not hit the new 140 tire that we'll put on here. So furthermore, let's get to it. All right, we're going to remove the wheel and do the tire first. So you're going to need a 32 millimeter socket. When removing the rear wheel, to make it easier, take these two screws out, as well as these two up here. That way the brake caliper can move further out and be pulled to the side. Now onto the chain guides. So while I was grabbing wrenches for the chain guide, I went ahead and grabbed a 12 to adjust the chain tensioners in, because the 49 tooth sprocket will be taking a link out of the chain. The chain tensioner nut is a 12, whereas the chain guides is a 10 and an 8. Not a crazy amount of wear, but a noticeable amount. This is the one that was on the bike. You can see there's some definite wear. You can see too, you can't tell too much with the camera, but right here how it's not staying on tracks. It's kind of hopping over and wearing out this edge right here. So here's the old one compared to the new one. Definitely worn in quite a bit. So we've learned the hard way in the past, removing the rear sprocket, that you want to find a really nice tight fit for the hex head, and you always want to tighten and loosen with the nut. So this is just holding it until, even though I have it on a power ratchet, it's just holding it until I can get it loose first. So you make sure it's in all the way, and then you'll loosen, and then now that it's loose. Now when you're looking to find what sprocket size is going to be best for you when you're switching to Supermoto wheels, because you're going to run into when you're switching from Supermoto to Supermoto wheels, you originally have a factory 18 in the back and you're jumping to a smaller 17. So that variation in size is going to affect your speed limit or your speedometer, and you're going to want to get one of those 12 o'clock labs speedo adjusters so you can have the accurate speedo. But when you're looking to find what sprocket size is best for you, there's this really cool website called gearcommander.com, and you go in and put in some information, and it'll go ahead and tell you basically what sprockets are going to be better for that specific vehicle, and so you have less wear on sprockets and they wear out less often. And also, we were originally going to get a 48 tooth sprocket, but we found out that the 49 tooth will actually work slightly better and have less contact patch, or have less contacts with each sprocket tooth. So we went ahead and went with the 49 tooth. But this new sprocket that we're putting on is Dirt Tricks. I've never had one before, but it's pretty sweet looking, and it's a chromoly. I really liked the Renthal sprocket. You can kind of see some cupping of the teeth. How it swoops that way. Started to get some cupping on the teeth, so we wanted to try something different. So we're down in the basement, and this is how we break the bead on our tires when we're changing tires out. This works on the Supermotos and the sport bikes. So what we did was we had one of these brackets, and we ground it down to the shape of the tire here and cut away some of the extra, and then it's kept up by this copper wire in the back and goes around the Harbor Freight press. Just a neat idea for those who like to be creative and innovate new ways of making things easier on yourself. Let's grab the tire and show you how it works. So once you get the tire in there all the way, you want to get it as close as possible to the rim without scratching it. And then you want to make sure that your valve stem is not in direct line with the point that you are pressing at to pop the bead. And then you'll just take it slow. On this tire, we'll be a little bit more careful than a normal tire, since we are going to be reusing this and putting it on my dad's XR650.
Yep, just like that. I think it is off.
There we go. This tire mount lube seems to work pretty good for any of those people looking to try mounting your tires yourself. So this is a tool I use to feed the valve stem through the wheel. We use plastic trim removers off of tools for cars to peel off the weights so it doesn't scratch the wheel. Got the new drivetrain on. The new sprocket looks awesome. The clearance between the chain and the tire is a little bit better, and the chain seems, with the O-ring, seems to have a little bit less slop. So far it seems like the
the rear tire is a little bit taller than the 150, so it'd be fun to see how much more, if there's any notice in nimbleness, if it rides more like a bicycle. But I'm gonna throw some gear on and see if we've improved see if we made any improvements. It's different feeling. I thought it would be like more nimble, but it seems about the same nimbleness, just like the rear is a little bit taller. 2, 1, go. Yeah, it's definitely geared way a lot taller for just dropping 2 teeth. Yeah, it drives a lot. It feels a lot smoother, and it's I think the gearing is a little bit better for 50 plus miles an hour. I got the new tires, so I don't want to. Yeah, I guess the Conti attacks, they come pre-worn in. I'm really happy with the new setup though.